I brought Legacy back from the past and put them in modern WWE to see if they could be as successful as they were back then. Before we move on, we have to address something. While Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton are fine, and even in WWE today, Ted DiBiase Jr. is incarcerated. So the plan is to replace Ted DiBiase Jr. with somebody else because he's in jail. So we decided to host a 8-man tournament with 8 of the brightest stars in NXT. And the final 2 people that win will go to WrestleMania Backlash to fight for the Legacy spot. The finalists were Ilya Dragunov and Wes Lee. This match was pretty freaking wild. It was a back and forth fight. Wesley hits a freaking spiral tap, but it's not enough to put him down. Ilya Dragunov looks like he's going to go for a countout victory, but he decides not to because he wants to win this cleanly. And in the end, Ilya Dragunov wins the match cleanly after he hits the Torpedo Moscow onto Wesley for the 3. And Ilya Dragunov becomes the 3rd member of Legacy. And Legacy just beat the shit out of Wesley just for shits and giggles too. So here it is, Legacy, Ilya Dragunov, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton. With Legacy fully established, we go on to our next pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. Cody Rhodes challenges Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Cody Rhodes is actually able to hit a crossroads onto Seth Rollins, but Seth kicks out. So Cody Rhodes goes for one last ploy to get a win, but Seth Rollins counters it, throws him into the corner, curb stomp, and that is the end. So Cody Rhodes loses his championship opportunity. But it's not over yet, because Randy Orton is challenging Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Universal Championship inside of the Hell in a Cell. Randy Orton hits not 1, but 2 RKOs back-to-back in a row, and Roman Reigns still fucking kicks out of it. Roman's able to recover, hits a punch onto Randy's head that busts him open, and takes him down long enough for Roman Reigns to hit the ooh-ah and then the spear for the 3 count. Roman Reigns retains the Undisputed Championship like he always does, but more importantly, Legacy have lost both of their world title opportunities. After the failures of Legacy at Hell in a Cell, we go to NXT where Ilya Dragunov is still there. He's taking on Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship. Ilya Dragunov dodges the spear by Breaker, but Breaker just grabs him and hits a Falcon Arrow and pins him for the 3. Braun Breaker retains, and Legacy are a legacy of losers. They all lost their title opportunities they were given. Unbelievable. After this bitter loss for Legacy, Randy Orton pulls in the other boys, and they're like, listen, we're on a losing streak, and we need to break it somehow. So Randy Orton comes up with an idea. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view is coming up, so let's get in there. And how do we get in there? By beating up the entire roster, of course. So Randy Orton, Ilya Dragunov, and Cody Rhodes are all in the Money in the Bank ladder match to dry. Can you guess what happened? They fucking lost again. Yeah, they lost. Logan Paul wins the Money in the Bank. They fucking lost. They went through all the bullshit. They beat up like 3 people on the roster and sent them to the hospital, and they still lost. Like, holy crap, these guys suck. Back to NXT, and Ilya Dragunov is getting another title shot. Why? I don't know. He's going for the North American title against Wesley, the champion, and Andre Chase, this freaking nerdy ass. This nerd Andre Chase. It looks like Andre Chase is actually going to win. He hits a flatliner onto Wesley, but Ilya is able to break it up in time. He grabs Andre Chase and hits him with a queen suplex with the bridge and actually gets a pin. Ilya Dragunov wins the NXT North American Championship, finally snapping the losing streak of Legacy. While Ilya actually finally found some success, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton are still kind of lost. So they decided to do a tag team. They're teaming up to take on the undisputed tag team champions, Flop Dalla and Ashante. Yep. These are the tag team champions. They couldn't find anybody else to be champions, so here you go. So Cody and Randy are challenging in a Falls Count Anywhere tornado tag because tag matches fucking suck. So yeah, no. Randy Orton T-bones Ashante Donis out of the ring, and Flop Dalla gets flopped as he hits with the RKO. Randy Orton actually pins him for the 3. So Legacy actually win titles. Congratulations. They only had to beat the worst tag team in the company, so... But, you know, as they say, a win's a win. Hit Row are not happy at the fact they lost their titles in a Falls Count Anywhere match, so they demand a rematch against Legacy, which they get. But this time they're bringing backup. Hit Row is bringing BFAB to the team. Maybe she'll change their look around, who knows, as they take on Legacy with Ilya Dragunov in their corner. So this is it, the be-all end-all. Whoever wins, wins. Top Row takes out Randy Orton, but Cody Rhodes is able to run in and catch him with a crossroads and pins him for the 3 count. Legacy retain their championships once again, and Hit Row can go back to being released or something, because bye-bye. Bye-bye, Flop Dollar. I'll see you in Ring of Honor. Oh my god, is that Ted DiBiase? He broke out of prison! What? Ted DiBiase's back! As DiBiase stands on the stage, we see Ilya Dragunov getting taken out by Braun Breaker, Damon Kemp taking out Cody Rhodes, and Wes Lee taking out Randy Orton. Seems like that DiBiase is returned, but he wants to get some revenge on Legacy for not putting him in the group, even though that he's in fucking jail. On the following Raw, we find out DiBiase's motives for returning. DiBiase comes out and is like, now you might have a lot of questions here. How did I get out of jail? Well, even though I got in trouble for fraud, my dad is the $1 million man, so he paid my bail, at least temporarily. So I'm back, and I'm gonna get revenge on the guys who didn't give a crap about me. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. However, Braun Breaker, Wes Lee, and Damon Kemp are also joining me because Ilya Dragunov, we are the DiBiase posse. We're about to run wild on Legacy's ass. And with that, DiBiase's returned with the DiBiase posse in his corner. And Extreme Rules, Ted DiBiase gets his wish as he teams up with Braun Breaker to take on Legacy, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes in Extreme Rules tag match. Cody Rhodes hits a crossroads on the Ted DiBiase as Randy Orton is pummeling Breaker on the outside. DiBiase kicks out, and when Breaker recovers, he gets hit with a crossroads too, and Cody Rhodes finishes the story by finishing off Braun Breaker, and Legacy retain. It seems like they're finally going up in the ladder instead of just losing all the time. At NXT Halloween Havoc, Ilya Dragunov has to defend the NXT North American title against Damon Kemp and Wes Lee. Wes Lee obviously is frustrated with Ilya Dragunov, and Damon Kemp is just there because he lost to Ilya in the tournament. Since there's 2 of them, you'd think that they would team up and at least one of them gets it for the DiBiase posse, right? No. They fight each other on the outside, and Ilya Dragunov just runs up and grabs the title. So this was supposed to be like a 2-on-1 situation, and in the end they just fought each other while Ilya retains his championship. After Extreme Rules, DiBiase is not happy with the result, so him and his boys decide to beat up Legacy even more, and then DiBiase lays out the challenge. He challenges Legacy to a War Games match. The DiBiase posse versus Legacy and somebody else. Of course, the problem is that Legacy only has 3 members, and Randy Orton and Ilya Dragunov don't have any friends, so it's up to Cody Rhodes to find a partner, a suitable partner to join Legacy. Yeet. And with that, Cody Rhodes decides to have Jey Uso join Legacy for a one-night-only thing to take on the DiBiase posse. We arrive at War Games, where it's Team Legacy and Jey Uso versus the DiBiase posse. And after a hellacious War Games match, Wes Lee goes to the top of the cage and jumps off of it, landing on Jey Uso's back, probably cracking it in 2. And Wes Lee goes for the cover and pins him for the 3. So the DiBiase posse get their revenge finally on Legacy. But they're not done yet because they do get rewards. Ted DiBiase Jr. gets his get out of jail free card and he's not in prison anymore, and meanwhile, Damon Kemp, Braun Breaker, and Wes Lee are all going to get future title shots. As for Jey Uso, well, let's just say that he was dealt with. After Survivor Series, both Legacy and the DiBiase posse have had enough of fighting each other, so they're going to settle this once and for all at day 1. Damon Kemp, Braun Breaker, and Wes Lee all were given title shots due to their win at War Games, and it's going to be settled. It's going to be a winner-take-all match. It's time for day 1, the winner-take-all match, the final fight. Legacy, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Ilya Dragunov versus the DiBiase posse. Damon Kemp, Braun Breaker, and Wes Lee for both the North American and Undisputed Tag Team Championships. The final fight, let's get into it. Wes Lee takes Ilya Dragunov out after slamming him through the first table. Now we're at a 3-2 disadvantage for Legacy. Cody Rhodes evens the score after hitting a power slam on Damon Kemp through the second table, so now we're back to 2-2. Cody Rhodes gets eliminated by Wesley after hitting a Northern Lights suplex through a table. And now Randy Orton, the leader of Legacy, is all on his own against Breakker and Lee. Despite Randy Orton putting up a fight, the numbers game was too much, and Wesley eliminates Randy Orton by German suplexing through a table. Thus, the DiBiase posse have beaten Legacy and have gotten all of their championships, and Wesley eliminated all 3 members of Legacy by himself. Stellar. But now Legacy are back at the bottom as they have nothing. But it's time for the Royal Rumble. Legacy are all entering the match. And I don't know how they pulled this off, but the Legacy somehow got number 28, 29, and 30. So surely they must win. There's 3 of them at the last 3 spots. They have to win the match, right? Well, Ilya Dragunov gets booted out by Hulk Hogan, brother. Then Randy Orton gets booted out by Hulk Hogan, dude. And despite Cody Rhodes eliminating Ted DiBiase with the Cody Cutter, Cody Rhodes gets drop kicked out of the match by Finn Balor. Thus, Legacy, all 3 of them lose once again. And in the end, Hulk Hogan actually wins the match. I'm not even joking. Hulk Hogan wins the Royal Rumble and is going to go fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Damn, what a match that is. A 70-year-old Hulk Hogan versus the Tribal Chief. Place your bets now. After the Royal Rumble, tensions start to flare up between Legacy members, all of them blaming one another for the failures of this group. They all walk away, but Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes qualify for an Elimination Chamber match. Meanwhile, poor Ilya never even got the opportunity to qualify because he's in NXT. So Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton are getting one more shot at a championship. Meanwhile, their partner is left to dust. At Elimination Chamber, Seth Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion, has to defend his championship against Legacy members Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, Omos, Logan Paul, and T-Bar. Cody Rhodes is the first man out as Logan Paul hits a skull-crushing finale to eliminate him. Poor Cody. No story for you. Randy Orton makes it to 3rd place as he's eliminated by T-Bar after a Feast Your Eyes to take him out of the match. So Legacy, which of course. Unfortunately, Logan Paul wins the World Heavyweight Championship by beating T-Boner. And Logan Paul is your new world champion. Legacy lose once again, which at this point is just kind of a gag at this point. They just lose all the time. After they're all losers. And that's it. That's what happened when Legacy was brought back. The takeaway from this is that Legacy was always a shit stable. They were before and they still are now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.